All right, minions, heed the call of the fox to do his bidding. Yep, we're back. What is this? Get this garbage out of here. Why are you laying not? Okay, they have a small, they have a lesser chance to lay Drecklet eggs. We need to get that egg out of here. This unworthy garbage. What is in here? Oh, seeds. Sweep only. All critter eggs. There. We'll just sweep that up. Get this unworthy garbage out of here. There we go. Okay, now we can just dump that out like it is. Okay. So, today's episode. Ooh, what's happening? What? Storage is... Oh, yeah, it's because it's food. Out of food. Food storage. Let's remove this. Originally, we had built that as kind of in a rush, so let's just do that and build more of these. There we go. Probably gonna need another chlorine room. I didn't do that in my last playthrough, but we're probably gonna need it this time around. I don't know what this building is going to be, but I also don't care. I just need a building. I have no idea what this is going to be. It is going to be I'll put a doorway here. So our dust caps should be reaching maturity. So same with our bristle blossoms, which means what's happening over here? Okay, they're fine. Our critter lights are telling us that we're only missing a stone hatch. Oh yeah, we need I can't even think of it now. Oh, we need to... Let me copy this over. Something's off-gassing. Okay, it's just that. It's not important. Not a big deal. Oh, yeah, this too. Alright, so we need to start... Okay, so white is the intake. Alright, so this is the... Let's get this guy. I want insulated pipes here. It's gonna go like this. Oh. That's not gonna... Oh, we screwed it up. Okay, so we're gonna have to redo this. This area is a vacuum, but we're gonna have to ruin it. I forgot we haven't installed the piping yet. I derped. Okay, so hold on a second. Is this thing pumping oil yet? Oh. There. Okay, this thing is pumping oil officially. Alright, so we are now getting the oil out of there. Now, okay, here's what we gotta do. We gotta hook this thing up. So, let's see how it's gonna work. This is the output. That's the input. So what's gonna happen is we need to hit a radiator. We need to make a radiated system. Well, also, we need to create this as well. I feel like this is just gonna dump the water back in with insulation. I don't feel like that's going to be very fancy. So we're gonna go like this. Radiant pipes. I think I'm gonna leave this area open. And then go like this. Let's go like radiant, insulated, and back in like this. Like that. Okay, I think it's fine. Why are they complaining about it being cold? Oh, yeah, that's right. The water's cold here. That's not a big deal, though. Okay. I mean, I'll explain, like, okay, so we do have some new viewers. In the comments, I read some people that they have not played this game before, so they do want it explained. This one is going to be a lot easier to explain when it's actually built, because it's a little bit more involved. Not like super involved, but it is a bit more involved. There's no doubt about that. Go ahead and I want my last Weeds Ward over there. Let's see how the oil's looking. It's gonna take a little while to pump all the oil in there, but like I said, the main goal is just to kind of... And I mean, we don't even necessarily want to completely fill up, like, we just need some oil, so I guess I'll talk a little bit about the system. So this is the thing that's gonna build steel. The problem is that the refinement process of steel generates an incredible amount of heat, just crazy amounts of it. Oh, we also need to start digging down here. Interesting. Let's go ahead and get that started, I suppose. We'll go down to this layer. And I'll probably build some holes as well. Can we afford that? We're gonna need more metal. Hey, I guess we can afford it. Might as well clear this out. Probably gonna need some oxygen deodorizers or whatever these crazy things. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to move around this steam vent. I'm not sure how I haven't figured out how I want to handle that yet because this water's really hot. Cut off by irrigation? Oh, this thing's shut off. Turn it back on. Okay. Now it should be fine. Okay, so these are now ready to harvest. They're fine. This is also ready to harvest. And that means... do I need to adjust the priority on this? We'll leave it at a 5. Well, yeah, we'll leave it at a 5. I want to see them deliver it to it. And I might also add a little more off time to everybody so that they can actually take advantage of the new facilities. Also, we need to move somebody probably to 3rd shift. There we go. 4, and 4. Maybe we should make these 6s, just because they are they need to get done, but they don't need to be done like immediately. Okay, so here's our mushroom in a sterile atmosphere, which is convenient. I mean, I guess we need more slime as well, so... Okay, so they're loading up the mushrooms. Wait, what about the bristleberry? Oh wow, you gotta load up a decent bit of mushroom in here. I don't know if we needed 4 of those things. That 4 might have been overkill. Okay, so now we have bristleberries, which means we've got meal lice, bristleberries. Oh, look at that. I want to see them use it. When do we... I don't want to look away. The moment we look away is when they're going to... Like, you can see it all in the blender. So the juicer is like, it's basically a blender. Like, I don't know what advantage it will have over the soda, if there is an advantage to it. I feel like this is harder to set up than this, so maybe this gives a greater impact of morale than the soda fountain, because the soda fountain just needs water and carbon dioxide. That's extremely easy to... That's very easy to do. Look at that! I mean, it looks and sounds insanely nasty, but... And he eats the... What did you... What was that? Like, let me see what effect he got. Where are your effects at? Does it not show it? I guess it doesn't show it. But, like, did you see that? Like, look at that. He ate the cup. Yeah, he ate the cup. What is that? What is that? So it looks like these might have been slightly overkill. Like, we may not need that many. I love how I mean, it doesn't really matter. If they're slime, you don't contract slime lung through the stomach. Like, basically, the germs can't, I guess they just, oh, look at that. So it looks like one juicer is good enough for everybody. Or maybe two juice. Well, yeah, I mean... it seems to work. Okay, so I was wondering how much we needed to put in there. I mean, like, would that... How many duplicants would that amount feed? But honestly, it seems like it's pretty decent. Like you could use it multiple times. I was worried that it would just, like, rip through our supply. But that doesn't appear to be the case. Let's... add one of these here, because, well, that's not true anymore. We can do this. I don't think there's... Actually, yeah, let's do that. I don't want the off-gas into a location that would be, I don't want this off-gas polluted oxygen, and then the not polluted oxygen is like, oh man, I'm gonna sneak out of the base somehow. Oh, let's see how we're doing over here in terms of electricity. Okay, so it looks like we've successfully built down there, and we do have polluted oxygen everywhere. I have to build a whole bunch of these everywhere again. No, don't build it there. Let's do this and use the element sensor. Switch it to gas. Looks like we just kind of need them in miscellaneous areas. We're not going to mess with it right now. So that water is going to give off a lot of heat. Haven't figured out what I'm going to do with it. But we do need, right here, we're going to need... Let's get a tile. Not here, though. Let's cut this area open. So this is going to come down. I don't know if we'll have enough. Okay, we'll have enough. Now what we're going to do is build a... This one is going to actually require a large transformer, which is same concept, but it's bigger. Probably going to build it out of gold. Build it out of gold. We actually have a ton of refined metal right now, so that's actually less of a problem. Now what we have to do is we have to use conductive wire, and the reason for that is because we don't want to fry the circuits. And now we have to use... So we're using conductive wire now, which requires refined metals, but we actually have a decent quantity of refined metal. Oh, is this lead? Yeah, don't make it out of lead. No, nothing out of lead. Okay, so conductive wire, make it out of gold. We have to use a conductive wire bridge, like we can't use the regular ones. And then we'll use conductive wire all the way over here. And then we can finally hook that up. And of course we'll have to do this. And we'll have to build a bridge. What I'll do instead is probably make some of these. Probably make another one right here. Although the oxygen will begin trading places with the carbon dioxide, that's just the inevitability. So we've got... What do we got here? So, in terms of slime lung, it looks like the upper sections of the base are fine. This area's got to be cleared. It's infecting this tile. Like, we can see it right here, that the slime lung is spreading into the tiles over there. Oh, forgot about our arrivals. Oh, let's take the bristleberry, honestly. I think that's a good idea. We could just fill up more of the juicers. So, it seems like we have a little bit of a slime lung problem here. Why is that? Why isn't the slime lung dissipating? Yeah, maybe it just needs more time to die. A little bit of a problem in this area. Oh, yeah, I see why. We've got some... the slime lung just generally in the atmosphere over here. We also have a problem with it in this area. I wonder if the slime lung is able to survive in certain areas that, like carbon dioxide. Because I know slime lung dies in clean oxygen, but I wonder if it... So one thing that's interesting is the polluted oxygen is not housing the slime lung down here because it's too hot. The slime lung is being, like, basically cooked out. Just got this little bit right here, and it just died out, yeah, so it actually floated down here and just died out due to the... So we're actually going to have some people getting slime lung as they come down here. So I think part of the problem might be the carbon dioxide might not... I don't think it promotes slime lung, but I don't think it kills it either. I think the rule is the slime lung has to be in the clean oxygen to die. Which means we're probably going to have to do something about this carbon dioxide. Like, do I really need to build another carbon, a carbon loop here? I really hope I don't need to. That'd be annoying. I could see myself having to build one down over here. I want these to be higher priority, because these ones are, like, actively in use right now. It's so funny seeing this little cactus over here. Okay, so what I think we need to do is wall this off. The reason for that is simply because we can't allow anybody down here unless they have a suit. And now that this side is open, they might go down there. In fact, I'm going to make this a maximum priority. Oh my gosh. Just finished building it. Once they seal this off, the only way to get in will be from this side, and the only way to get in through this side is through the atmosuit checkpoint. That's all fine. That's exactly the way we want it. Okay, so all of these combined should be clearing up the oxygen pretty nicely. Okay, so this has... Okay, let's see how the oil is looking down here. Okay, it's full, so we'll turn this off temporarily. Why isn't anyone... You know what? Fine, I'll do it this way. There we go. Now we'll build this wall to finish it up so they can't get down there. And getting rid of all this slime lung is going to be a pain. Okay, I think it is dying out. I remember it being at more like 2,000-ish germs, so I think it is dying out. I wonder if the slime here has something to do with it. I don't know if it does or not. There we go. Okay, so we're clear there. No worries about that. Alright, so now we're going to have to pump some of the oil out of here. How do we want to do this? I guess we could pump... Does it really... I don't think it really matters if we pump all of the oil out. In fact, we don't even have to pump all the oil out. I could just remove some of it by building another liquid tank. Which I could just build, I don't know, right here is fine. No, it doesn't need to be that high. Well, they can build it on that high of a priority. That's fine. Okay, let's build this. There we go. Just like that. In fact, maybe I'll build a second one. In fact, why even do this? Why even bother with that? Let's just transfer it all over. Why even go that? Let's just add it in. We'll drain the rest of the oil out at a later time. Oh, so someone is happy enough to give balloons out. I forget what the balloons do, but so someone has slime lung as a result of just wandering around in there. Not a whole lot we can do. Well, there is something we can do about that. We'll have to focus on clearing more of the slime lung up, though. So more of our critters are dying out. We're gonna have to cancel this and start doing smooth hatches. I just realized that we're down to one smooth. That's kind of okay, though. It just lets our metals rebuild a little bit. It's gonna take a little while to build this line. It's funny that we're not even really using oil for its primary purpose, which is to refine it into petroleum as a source of energy. We're actually just going to be using it as a source of coolant. I've mentioned that a few times. Some of you might be wondering, like, what the heck do I mean by coolant? The reason why we use oil as a coolant is because a coolant is either a gas or a liquid and you use it with the goal of transferring heat. Basically, you use it to capture heat and then move the liquid, which is now hot, somewhere else. So the coolant needs there's two important well, there's a few properties of coolant that are important, but one of the properties that's important is melting temperature and vaporization temperature in the case of the liquid. And that would be, we can't use water. Water isn't going to be a very good coolant, and that's because water turns to steam too quickly. Let's find out. Elements. Water, probably at the bottom of the list. Water. Water vaporizes at 210 degrees. That's too low. It's going to get really hot. It's going to get hotter than 210 degrees, and the pipes will break if the water becomes steam inside the pipes. So that's the reason why that's no good. That's not going to cut it. Now, Oh, I forgot about this. We can lock this, and we can start turning this into a vacuum. Okay. The second thing we want is the coolant also needs to have a low freezing temperature. So just like we don't want it to vaporize and turn to gas too quickly, we also don't want it to freeze and turn into ice too quickly. And that's because the coolant can also, the coolant can get very hot, but the coolant can also get extremely cold. The best coolant in the game, the super coolant, it can go like crazy cold, like negative 400 degrees and it won't freeze. And that's what makes it so good at cooling things down. It's capable of reaching such a low temperature without freezing. And once again, if the liquid freezes in the pipes will break, and then the system could get jeopardized. In the case of the system we're building, it would be really bad. If it breaks down, it wouldn't be like the end of the world or anything, but it wouldn't be good. It would be a problem. Another person with digging and building. I think I might take him. Because, you know, I just always need more digging and more building. Yeah, we'll do it. I still haven't looked up people's names yet, and that's because I'm actually recording 2 episodes in the same day. Do digging this time, I guess? How are we doing over here? Got some ways to go, but we're getting there. How are we doing on this end? Getting there. Oh, actually doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. All I gotta do is... Oh, this thing has, this thing is not manual anymore? Oh, no, okay, it is. Okay, that makes sense. It looks like it can be automated now. That's a new feature. Yeah, interesting. So we are seeing that the... Looks like 199 degrees isn't hot enough to kill it off, whereas over here it is definitely dying out. Why don't we just look that up? We can do that. Index, disease, slime lung. So it can survive in temperatures between 50 and 212, so that's why it's dying out in the ice areas, and that's why it is surviving in this area. It's not quite hot enough over there. So we know that it is killed by oxygen. Oxygen is the only thing that kills it. So that's why it's just existing in the carbon dioxide. It's not actually dying out. Which is annoying. It means I'm gonna have to probably scrub all of this carbon dioxide. Wait, how did I get... Okay, there we go. Let's see how we're doing over here. Okay, good. We're down to micrograms, which means this is nearly a vacuum. The reason this needs to be a vacuum is because the way this thing works is it's going to output really hot oil, and the oil is going to go through the insulated pipes where it's going to maintain its extremely high temperature. And then it's going to go bam, it's going to hit these radiant pipes that are going to because remember, the radiant pipes actively transfer the heat, and bam, it's going to hit the water. And it's going to start heating up the water like crazy, but in return, the water is going to start leaching the heat out of the oil, and that's why it needs to kind of snake around. And then when it gets back into here, we don't want the oil to heat up the temperature over here, like that would be we don't want this to overheat. So this will turn back into an insulated pipe to capture the heat and, oh wait, what are you doing? There we go. We want to make sure that doesn't happen. Make sure every one of these is an insulated pipe. And so eventually what will happen is, the oil can get extremely hot. I think it vaporizes at like 700 degrees. Well, 700 degrees, that's like insanely out of control. Like that's like super, super, super hot. And eventually that would start to destroy the metal refinery. The metal refinery cannot work when you're putting like 700 degree like like extremely hot oil into it. And so we have to find a way to prevent the oil from getting excessively hot, and that's where this system comes into play. Oh, I forgot about this too. This needs what am I gonna do about this? I probably need to give this thing a battery. Or I at least need to connect it to the system. But realistically, this thing needs to be connected with a heavy watt wire. Is that what we're just gonna have to do that, aren't we? Anyways, before I work on that, this thing is basically... The steam turbine is going to suck the steam up, and it's going to generate electricity, and what it'll do is, in the process of generating electricity, it cools the steam down back into hot water. The water will come out at like 90-something degrees, but like 90-something degree water is like really cold compared to like 210 degree steam. And that's the way that this thing works. It's going to go in a loop like that. But yeah, we'll see. We'll get to see that a little more later on, because that's the end of this episode. Very interesting. Got to see how yet another water-based item works, the juicer. I don't know, what do you think is better, the juicer or the, no power? Why is that? Are we hitting our capacity? It might be in here. Who cares? They'll deal with it. So we got a juicer, and we've got a, you know, the soda machine. I don't know which one is better. I think they both could be good. I don't know how much it improves people's morale. I mean, like, we see the balloon effect, so obviously it must be making people happy. Having the juicer, I think it sounds super nasty. I mean, mushrooms, meal lice, and bristle thingies. That sounds super nasty to me, but, you know, I'm not a smoothie or, you know, like a juicer kind of person, so what do I know? At any rate, that's the end of this episode. Like this video if it was entertaining. Subscribe for future Oxygen Not Included content. Of course, remember that you don't have to be good to get good.